You know what else the numbers support? This episode of Generation Dan. Hi, everyone. Welcome to another episode featuring, of course, the resident old guys, Atlas Novak and Dino the Genetic Marvel. And we're joined by a special guest today.
This is Travis Clyburn. How are you, good sir?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me, you guys. I'm excited.
Thanks for coming. I love
intergenerational gangbang thing we got going on here. Exciting.
I am Greek, so we're going to find out today.
There is some Eiffel Tower pushing going on in the chat sometimes. Yeah, you're not wrong.
Eiffel Tower pushing?
You know what that is?
No.
You're not aware of this? Okay.
Don't explain it. Don't explain it.
Eiffel Tower.
Is it?
There's three of us, right? Yeah. There's one in the middle, and there's two on either side.
Oh, okay, I got it.
Yeah.
Stop
got
it.
All right.
Done. Cool.
Sweet.
All right.
Yeah.
Wouldn't it be four because you have like one on each? Never mind. I'm not doing this.
Nah, that's a London Bridge, bro. You're doing two different landmarks.
Oh, yeah.
Number one. Oh my God. That is. Oh.
That's
hot,
fine.
right?
I'm glad.
You've always said
That's
the
what you're
French
about to
girls
say?
what they'll do for chocolate, but apparently London Bridge is where it's at.
London
Who
Bridge
knew?
is where it's at, and it's falling down hard, bro.
You know what, man? Like honestly, I grew up in a different time. I grew up in a different time where, like, apparently, I don't know. Maybe I was Amish. It was weird.
Y'all just like fuck dead animals and like old tires. Like now we got the internet, dude. We got technology
and smaller tires. But that's, you know, that's what you got to do.
Is 6 a peacock or something? I'm trying to think of like. Never mind.
This would be like would it be an octopus or is that 8?
That's 8.
Yeah.
8. Yeah, that's a difficult task right there. I'd take them to be 9 because you'd have to have 8 people to be the legs.
Yeah.
And then 1 to be the head. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's like that picture with the couch and the one person and then the lots of people kind of, yeah.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah,
we all know that couch.
We
the
all
girl on the couch.
Yeah, that's intergenerational for sure.
You know what? That's the fun thing is like everyone has seen that at some point and you're like, hey, that's... I always, I love those memes when people are like, it's a picture of like, one was, I think, Mia Khalifa, she's doing dishes, and the dad is like, I could have sworn I know you from somewhere, and she's like, really? And you're like, oh, that's uncomfortable.
I think you do.
Well, that's the thing, right? Like now, the fact that it's so at your fingertips, right? Like you never know who's got it for sale on the internet, apparently.
That's true, especially with OnlyFans now.
Well, look, the pandemic opened a lot of doors that ain't getting shut anytime soon.
Generation Dan / OnlyFans.
OnlyFans.
Guy, there's a lot of weird people out there, man. Like that, just like, hey, I'll sell you pictures of my feet, and I'm like, yeah, I have my own feet. I'm okay, man. Thanks, that's really appreciate that. They're like, oh, okay.
You're
I'm
getting
like,
feet pick cold calls. Is that what you're saying?
Dude, I get everything. Like my Instagram is half prostitutes. I'm sure of it, and they send me stuff on a regular basis, and I'm just like, I'm honestly trying to make humor out of it, and no one's bitten yet. Because I'm like, I'm actually an alien. What's up? I got 7 dicks. Like, I'll throw out something, just anything, and they're like, you're a weirdo, and I'm like, me? No, I don't think so.
You do kind of sound like a brand risk for some of these prostitutes, dude.
Travis, have you ever performed at Liquid Zoo before?
Once, a very long time ago, yeah.
Have you, when you were there, did you get propositioned by a sex worker? Because like it happened to me, and then I was telling another comic, he's like, "You too?" I was like, "Whoa."
Did they? Yeah, I did have a blonde woman ask me if I needed to shower at her place, which I thought
that's generous.
Was weird because I was like, well, first off, no. I mean, maybe. I was homeless at the time. So she was like, shower, and then we can. Then, by the way, like if you're desperate enough to proposition a visibly homeless man, then I think you could probably be a better prostitute, really.
I feel like that's a penny saver advertisement. That's not that's not a pay newspaper.
I don't know.
That's
Maybe
a free newspaper.
Maybe she was just trying to be like Sandra Bullock in The Blind Side and just like do something. I don't know. I don't know, dude. We don't know what her intentions were on that day.
Yeah.
Was there one or many prostitutes that hung out there? Like, or have we all had run-ins with the same one?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7. 7 prostitutes.
7 prostitutes.
No. When I was there, I was on a show, and like I do like my ritual beforehand, which is go find like either in my car beforehand, or I like go find a
like a handy or what?
No, behind the building, and I like look at my material, and I'm like, okay, this is like I'm solidifying what jokes I'm gonna do.
You cannot practice behind a building or in your car. That's a no.
It's not practicing. It's just like, okay, these like 4 bits or whatever. Anyway, so I'm out there like clearly on my phone, right? And this woman comes up and does like, she has like a skirt and does this. Like
I didn't get that.
With her leg. Wow. And then it was like,
was it a gang sign or something?
No, it was like, hey, big boy, you want some of this like very, very like generic sounding, right? And I was like, no, I'm okay. Like I was trying to be as polite as possible. She's like, what are you, gay? And then just walks off.
Oh wow!
Oh wow!
I feel like you tell your story, I might have just had a woman hit on me. Now that I'm thinking about it, I think that wasn't a problem. I think a woman just weirdly hit on me because I didn't have that happen.
What do you want to shower at my place? You're like, no. And then
so you just like, legitimately, someone was trying to be kind and like,
I think
they might have actually loved you. Like they have an altar in their house to you, and you're just like, nah, fuck you.
What are you, a fucking cop? Like,
I like Sandra. I like Caleb's Sandra Bullock theory. That's like,
she's like, oh, this man needs help.
Yeah,
I can fix him.
It was her good deed of the decade. She's gonna rehabilitate, help you get your GED and stuff. It's nice.
Yeah, clearly fucked up.
Maybe she had free dental. She knew a dentist. It was her brother or something. He needed to practice. It's fair. It's like getting your haircut downtown at the college. It's fair. It's,
Oh yeah.
Sometimes you just gotta take a chance. Right? People need to practice. So you find a homeless comedian, practice away.
Yeah, bring him in, get him out of their van.
Was it like the first thing that popped into my head was the mystery machine from Scooby Doo, but I imagine it wasn't.
Oh, it was but rapier. You know what I mean? Like it was solid white panel, windowless van.
One of those Playboy windows in the back instead of the normal round one that had the ears glued on, where you're like, okay.
Yeah, it did have back windows, which
seems like Dino's working on a fucking writing packet to audition for Brazzers or something, dude. Look at him go over there.
Listen, man, at my age, I really appreciate a wholesome premise before the fucking starts.
Oh, you like story? Okay.
I don't need a full. Listen, I don't need thespians banging, right? Like I need just a little bit of creativity, like somebody just to be like, oh, maybe we shouldn't. We might get caught. Then, wow, that's fine.
Oh, right.
But like they met on vacation in Rome, and like it happened in like around the back of the Colosseum.
Oh my God, I'm stuck in this window. Now we have a premise,
Gotcha.
That's a fair
window. Get me out of the washing machine, step bro.
Listen, I'm stuck under the bed. I can't get out. These are real life situations that you have to prepare for. So, if anything, it's an educational view as well.
Someone's gonna take your butt if you get stuck in the mattress. That's how it works.
Look,
these are like episode titles galore.
Someone's taking your butt if you're stuck in a mattress.
My dad just got out of the prison. That's the first thing he told me once he got out. He said, someone's taking your butt.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I can't tell if he's kidding or not.
He went up to the biggest guy in there, and he's just like, I'm going to blow that guy just to prove what kind of fucking dude I get.
That's way smarter than fighting him.
Isn't it?
Statistically, it'll go better.
And you're way more popular off the bat.
And I feel like if you're putting out, you're less likely to get it taken. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I don't think that's a good kind of popular there, Caleb.
We talked about this a few weeks ago.
Any kind of popular is a good kind of popular.
No, that's a misnomer, sir. People assume that it is not like advertising because you're not selling it. Now, if you are, that's fine. That's a personal decision, which I'm not critiquing. I'm just saying you're opening yourself to an entrepreneurial spirit that you may not have signed up for when people are like, well,
I mean, dude, if I got to survive, might as well get paid.
Yeah,
but in ramen, man, it's not, it's not the same.
I mean, a lot of prisons don't even allow cigarettes anymore. You can't even get a goddamn cigarette out of the deal.
Can you
Terrible.
imagine being your ass being traded for a vape pen? Like, come on, man. That's
metal in your lungs,
right? Like that is. I feel like that's definitely traumatic.
I just blew that guy for a Juul cartridge.
Oh,
Ew.
it's just original flavor. I don't even know.
It's not even a menthol one. Have some class.
It's
why don't we ask,
Berry Delight, but it's not. It's plain. It's not.
why don't we ask Travis some questions?
Okay.
Please.
So that first one. What's an embarrassing song from your playlist?
Oh man, I've been delving back into you know the band Mayday Parade? Anyone know?
Yeah.
The
Emo
name
Action?
rings a bell.
Yeah. They have a song
I
called
know.
shit. What the fuck is it called?
Is it the one where they go
Every one of their songs is just so effeminately emo. Like it's
Is
like
it the one where
really.
they go to Las Vegas?
Yeah. I had a dream
Yeah.
last night. Yeah. It just makes me feel good in the weirdest way because it's just
Let's
like
put a 10 on the high card.
that one exactly.
It's been a summer on the West Coast.
Down and to the left. Yeah. That one.
Dude.
What
I'd
is it
say it's
called?
kind of
Brian?
embarrassing.
What was it called again?
I think it's called
It's
Jamie
Mayday
All
Parade,
Over.
Jamie All Over, I think.
Yeah.
Is the name of the
Mayday
song?
Parade.
It's pretty gay. I'll be honest. That's the best way. That's the way to put it. I mean, I don't know what else to say. I love it though. I love that fucking song. And
That
all
song
of its
is not
goodness.
embarrassing. It's a banger.
It is good. It's good. That's what I'm saying.
It's okay. Finally, something the old guys don't fucking understand. This is rare for me, so I'm relishing this moment right now.
Yeah, it's true.
Because usually they're just spending the whole time talking about, I don't know, the fucking Civil War and like, socioeconomic
20s,
climate,
Riding their
and, like,
horses
the
to
20s.
school.
401ks and things like that. Yeah.
Uphill both ways.
These motherfuckers gave me narcolepsy, dude. It's their fault.
What is it?
Jamie all over.
Narcolepsy caused by boredom?
Whatever, man. I heard you guys going into your liberal rant with Nick Neeblis. Whatever, man. I bring life to this, okay? Don't give me that
but that was
baloney.
a woke conversation. That cured my narcolepsy. I got insomnia from that conversation. How
There
woke it
was a Scrubs episode where someone had narcolepsy, like one of the patients, and it was caused by sexual attraction.
Sexual arousal. Yeah, I remember that episode.
Yeah,
That was great.
So like all the like doctors and nurses were like going in there and trying to like get him to pass out. It's
That was
like,
when
I
Carla
dropped
was
my
feeling like she
scalpel.
was too old.
Yeah,
Because Carla would walk in and he wouldn't pass out.
yeah,
He
and then
got
it turns
upset.
out like she reminded him of his sister or something. Which
Yeah.
I mean, that's fine.
That's much worse if he did.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
That'd be a nightmare. Just anyone knows if you're turned on by something at any time.
Just
They're like,
pass the fuck
You
out.
can't tell people. You can't.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
those are medical professionals. They're gonna know,
You
right?
ever
But like,
seen the,
random coworker, can you imagine? You walk into work and you're like, hey, you know.
Yeah. How come every time Jenny comes into the office, you black out? I'm like, I have no idea. Weird. Must be a
Every
perfume.
week you have a meeting with HR and you're like, oh, this is not gonna go well. So you
You
Yeah,
ever seen the TLC thing? And Tom Segura has a bit about this, but it's the persistent genital arousal syndrome,
Oh,
where just
No, I don't
people
think
can't
so.
stop coming all the time.
yeah, every 90 seconds.
Oh, yeah. I
they
think
just-
I've heard of that.
They
Yeah.
just come like all the time, dude. Imagine.
It's I think it's mostly in women too, because like they just constantly have orgasms. Like this
Yep.
one woman, every time she sneezed, she just. It's fine.
The TLC episode was about a man.
Was it really?
Oh,
That's
Yeah,
fucking-
it was about a
terrific.
man.
there's like
Like,
more cleanup with that, isn't that?
Yeah.
Isn't there? That's rough.
I feel like you'd like drop calories though. Like
Yeah,
you would
I-
burn
Oh, yeah.
so much just
Yeah.
making that much semen, right?
You'd
Like
pass out from
Dude,
dehydration.
You have to be
That's,
exhausted
yeah.
all the
you'd
time.
have to have
right.
an IV. You couldn't
Yeah,
couldn't drink that much electrolytes. Like you need
Get the Pedialyte.
Yeah.
yeah, you have to. There's no way. Listen, man, like yeah, no. Even I had like crazy weekends, like with my wife back in the day, and it's like,
Nice.
yeah, no. It's, at the end, you're like, I just buy Gatorade and leave me and ice my dick. I can't do it
Yeah.
anymore.
Love
Too
bananas.
much.
Blah.
Yeah, come on.
Maybe icing. I wonder if like icing your dick actually would help because it like
It does
gets
feel
you-
great on your balls. I'll tell you that much. Just in general.
Noted.
Hey,
I
man.
feel like it would, right? I mean, it's hard to get a boner in the snow.
Yeah.
Because of
I find
good
if I get
episode,
too
though.
hot, kills everything.
Oh,
That
interesting. So you'd
Yeah.
be better off with a heater on the balls.
No, well, no. I prefer it to be cold. I don't, but
Oh,
you know,
fair.
He's
Like,
he's
that's
Canadian.
just-
Just,
I have no
Dino-
problem walking around with
Very
erection.
Canadian. I
That's
see.
fine.
I see.
Yeah.
Dino has to win a battle with a Floridian climate in his trousers on a daily basis. Like he needs it as
Or
cold as
humidity.
possible down there.
Yeah, it's a humid ecosystem down there.
No, I understand,
Humid,
yeah.
it's damp.
Hey,
Damn.
man.
I'm a big fella. I get the same problem.
Listen, I did discover recently. So I just I even posted a meme about it where I'm like, new draws, new me season, because I just bought all new underwear, socks, and and undershirts.
Nice.
But Fruit of the Loom upgraded, and they now have like a moist wicking layer right
Oh.
from your right from bush right to taint. And I'm like, hey,
Oh.
listen, that is top quality engineering. Like that keeps you there forever. I will die with Fruit of the Looms cupping my balls for sure.
Didn't know that. I just wasted my money on a Hanes 10-pack.
Oh,
Of
they've
just
duped
cotton.
me so many times. They're the worst. They're the worst, and they don't even follow their seams. They just stretch out, and you're like, "Hey, I'm getting
Oh,
no
yeah.
support." It's horrible.
Boxer brief supremacy. That's all I'm going to say to that.
Yeah, but you have to have good boxer briefs, right? Because if you don't
Yep.
have
MeUndies is
good
fine.
boxer briefs, Hanes boxer briefs are dog shit. Okay.
Yeah.
And even now, there are ones that will cup your entire cock and balls, right? Like it's
Mhm.
actually got a pocket and goes like under, so it's like
Oh.
it's got a nice little thing, so it doesn't like chafe your taint either. Listen, man.
I've also made the mistake of buying like the silky type boxer briefs, like the really tight ones, and those have no liquid absorption ability. So it just, you know what I mean? So like it just goes, bro. It's
Man,
not good.
It's like there's
like
nothing and then like line of moisture right
I was,
mid
yeah.
thigh. Just
I bought one pair, and I like for whatever reason decided to wear them to the gym, and like everything was just
Message
going, bro.
unclear.
It was-
Does
Wear
it come with a
diapers.
squeegee
Yeah.
at least? Like,
Dude, no, like it was bad. Extra moist, let me just say that. Usually there's a level of absorption with underpants because it's cotton, you know?
you would think.
And when that goes away, you don't realize how much you need that cotton,
Oh,
how important that truly is to your dick and balls until you don't have it anymore.
dude.
that and good quality toilet paper are like those things that's
Oh,
like
yeah.
no. If I have to
Yes.
give those up, that's definitely a depression. Like there's no,
Yeah.
that's not a recession. That's full depression. That's-
I
sure.
have stolen a lot of things from work. I will never steal the toilet paper. It's one of those big single ply things that's
Oh,
like
yeah.
the size of someone's torso. It's like nah.
Oh,
you
hey,
can
put-
clearly see through it. Like you hold it up
Yeah.
and you're like, I know exactly what I'm looking at. There's not.
Yeah. So you like double wrap it so it's like, you know.
Also, like, is it really saving on anyone any money? Because you have to
No.
use triple the amount
Yeah, pretty
if
much.
it's
At
one
least.
ply, at least. So technically, if you just got 2-ply,
Mhm.
you know,
Look, and that
technically you'd save money, right? I think.
listen,
Yeah.
that single one, it's not absorbing anything. So if anything, you're just using it to protect your hands so you can kind of squish out anything you can. It's absolutely
Yeah.
horrific.
It's like
Okay?
trying to clean a dry erase board with a sheet of paper, dude.
Yeah.
Let's say, I remember in school, did you guys have the brown paper towels that absorbed no water?
Yes.
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 Yeah, I'm pretty sure everyone
Yeah.
does.
And
They just
apparently,
move water about.
yeah.
Like they
And the
don't-
zero pressure spouts, like you press on the pedal and then it's just like
oh yeah,
coming out barely. And you're like, why is there no pressure?
It's
Why can't we be clean? What's the problem?
it's either that or it's like a a motion sensor and it's like Blastoise use hydro pump and it's like
Oh yeah.
yeah.
Dude, speaking of that though, I need a bidet in my life.
I've needed to get one. I want to give
I
that a
want
shot.
one so bad, dude.
Hey, so my wife and I, a little while ago, we went. So I'm up in Canada, Travis. I'm in Toronto.
Oh, nice, nice.
So my wife and I couldn't really leave the country for like a vacation, but we went somewhere up north, and we walked in. And they're like, "Hey, we're on a septic system, so you have to use the bidet. Like, do not
Oh.
flush any toilet paper whatsoever or anything like that." And I was like, "Okay, if you guys say like that's it." So like, guy, we were there for 5 days, and I still by the end of it, the bidet, I was like, I got it to work like 90%. It's tricky, but worth it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've always wondered how you would line the beam with the hole. You know, like line the. And especially like if
just
it's
trial and error, right?
Definitely trial and error.
Okay, gotcha. And especially like, I mean, I live with my wife. Her beehole is definitely in a different spot than mine. So there's no way we could we both have to like position. You know what I mean?
One's in the normal spot. The other is halfway up his back. Who would have thunk it?
My butthole's like a blowhole. It's
He actually has to go to the bathroom like lying just because it has to line up properly. No, that's why there's one. I know a friend of mine. She has it where it's like right underneath the toilet seat, so it just sticks. It comes out, and you pick. It has a remote control, and you're like, oh, for a lady or a man, and then you can adjust it left and right as well, which you're like, oh, this is just fantastic. Even sends air down there to dry your nuts, which I'll tell you was very nice.
Oh, it's got like a little paint blow dryer.
It squirted, and then it was like, oh, a little bit harder, and it was like, oh, do you want it hotter, colder? I was like, listen, this thing is top tier stuff.
Nice.
But,
that does sound nice. The heated toilet seat is something I've never experienced either. That's fancy people stuff.
Only because someone was just on it.
I've tried one before.
They just make you sweat?
Yeah.
That's uncomfortable.
Not a fan. All right.
So we're still talking about dick and balls, I gather.
Pretty much. Yeah.
Okay, cool. So
Or
I just got my
question.
food, so we're already
Yeah.
What'd you order? What did you order?
Jealous.
I got pizza.
What kind of pizza?
Time.
Is it good pizza, bad pizza? What kind?
Look how inquisitive me and you just got, Dino. We were like, what kind of pizza you got there?
Pizza pie, that's amore.
You know I can't get it. You can just tell me what kind of pizza. I just need to know, man.
I know.
It's deep dish pizza from Black Jack.
It's Black Jack.
Black Jack racist, but okay.
It's Black Jack. That's what it's called.
It's like the card game you.
Shout out to Black Jack Pizza, I guess. Fucking free advertising, bitch.
Where are you located at?
I'm in Denver, Colorado.
Oh, Oh, fancy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Why don't we ask him his second question while Caleb enjoys his pizza and I'm insanely jealous? What's something you like to do because you're a grown-up and nobody can stop you anymore?
Oh, man, I've discovered in my 30s now the power of go fuck yourself. The mighty hammer of I'm not doing that. Which, oh, my God. In my early 20s and especially in my teens and stuff, there's people would ask me to do things, I just do them. I don't know why. Like very people pleaser mentality. I feel like I'm guessing we're all comics. Like, you know what I mean? Like I feel like all comics are comedian type people usually have the need to please.
Caleb's a prostitute. It's okay. Yeah, same.
Yeah, I mean he really has the need to please.
For sure. Yeah.
Right now he's mukbanging right now, pleasing a whole different category of people. But I just finally hit a point, probably maybe 29, 30, where it just dawned on me, like, why do I do any of these things? I think if I wanted to, like, I just love that. I wish I had the utility belt of fuck you, that's not true, or fuck you, I'm not doing that. In my early years, and my life would have been a lot easier, I feel. And now I wield it again like a fucking hammer. Like, no, I'm not doing that. Sorry, bye. I love that feeling.
You know what? That's a valid. Like it will bring you joy. It's definitely one of those things because, like, what I like to do in that is just give non-committal answers until someone like, well, are you in or you're out? Or I'm like, oh no, I'm not in. No, definitely not. And then once you go,
oh, I'm not doing that. No.
You're just like, oh, that sounds interesting, and just like I'm like, oh, if you want to talk about your stuff, I'll hear you. That's fine. I have nothing to do. But it's like, and they're like, okay, so do you want to sign up for this? We're like, oh God, no. But it sounds like a great idea. I wish you the best.
Oh, yeah.
One comic was trying to sell me a credit card, and I'm like, yeah,
no. Absolutely. Oh, yeah, I had a guy recently, even a good friend of mine, and he tried to get me to sign up for some definite MLM. Like, it was for sure a pyramid scheme. And I was like, I don't care how close friends we are. I'm not signing up for whatever the fuck you've got going on right now, brother. Sorry. But, like, also, I've said yes to enough things and done enough things where I have a definitive map of what I like and don't like, which I think is essential. Because now I've done enough things. Where, like, my friend's like, do you want to go to this EDM concert with a bunch of 18-year-olds? Like, no, thank you, sir.
Yeah.
I'd rather hit my head against the wall.
See, I would say yes, but can I be, like, in the upper room watching the weirdos? Because that's, yeah.
That'd be okay. Like, I even like concerts, like rock concerts, metal, you know? But I'm the guy in the back watching the people have their fun, you know?
comfortable seat, access to the smoking area, and the bar that doesn't have anyone lining up. It's perfect.
Yeah. I no longer will go to outdoor festivals. I'm like, listen, I don't need a sunburn. I don't need that in my life. I don't need a shirtless dude just touch me for no reason. You know what I mean? Like, I'd rather, if I'm going to do the drugs I would be doing at an outdoor festival, I can do them in my living room and have a better time.
Yeah, so, just Uber whatever I want. Just Uber Eats anything. Yeah.
Just roll on Molly in my bedroom. I'd rather do that than go.
Well, that was like we've talked about it. I know Atlas, Saya, and Caleb too. Was the weirdness of during the pandemic, how many people were like, I need to get away from my family. I'm like, you chose and or made them. This is a you problem. Stay home. And he's like, no, I need to go back to work. You're like, you need to figure out your family situation there, friend. Like,
I feel like if your family's that bad that like a brisk walk, like a 30-minute walk won't calm you down. You know what I mean? Like, because I feel like any situation me and my wife get in, I can just kind of fuck off, even in another room for a little while, then come back to the situation and be like, okay, we've worked this out. Like, but if you're like, I need a full day away from these fucking animals, that's pretty bad, like, man.
Which, listen, does happen. Like, it does happen, but also when it does, hey, you had a part to play. Like, it wasn't all them, you know? So that's but it's hilarious in that way. That's why, like, being comfortable. Like, I just got upgraded internet now, where I'm like, I can these episodes that we would download and record and everything to transfer usually take like 10-15 minutes to download. I'm like, in 30 seconds I've downloaded them now. I am doing like 10 different things at once, and I am like totally enjoying it. But I'm like, I'm an adult. I can just pay for stuff, and I'm just in the comfort of my own home. And people are like, oh, did you want to go do something? No. I'm great right here. Thanks.
I've got a whole terabyte of pornography on this.
Or even worse, like
3 terabytes.
My God.
They ask you, like, do you want to do this thing? And it's like, not your bag, or like, you're too old for that shit. See our Murtaugh list episode for more examples of that. Or just the kind of thing where you're like, no, I'm good. And they're like, well, why? I'm like, I just said I don't want to. Like, you don't need to give a like, oh, I'm busy. Just be like, yeah.
Oh yeah, like you don't have to think of excuses anymore. That's my favorite thing. I just be like, no, I don't want to do that. And they're like, why not? I'm like, it doesn't sound like a thing I would enjoy to do. And they go, what? Okay. And then usually they just fuck off. Like usually, I always had in my head when I was younger.
Or they say, "What are you, gay?" And then fuck.
And just tell them, I sucked your dad's dick. Go fuck yourself.
No, you say it's not gay. He sucked my dick. It's fine. That's not.
Exactly.
That's a him problem.
Your dad about being the real gay here. Okay?
I support local entrepreneurs. That's not. That's not how that works. That's fair. I think that's the weird part is that I feel like, especially when you're young, you always forget that people don't always need an explanation, so you just volunteer it because no one's talking, right? Whereas when, like, as you get older, you just kind of realize you're like, oh no, I don't have to say anything.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, do you want to go? You're like, no. You're like, why not? You're like,
because you asked if I wanted to go, and I answered your question.
You can just turn around and walk away. I don't have to talk to you. I don't have to do anything. It's great.
I think it's because, like, when you're kids, right? Like, can you go, like, take out the trash or whatever, and then, like, you try and test authority and go, no. And they go, why not? And you just go, I don't want it. And then they're like, well, I'm your dad, so take out the goddamn trash, whatever.
That's what I do with my friends.
But I'm saying it's kind of like programmed into you when you're little that, like, you got to give a legit reason for everything.
Yeah,
like,
depends what kind of dad you had too. Because I feel like I kind of had that dad to be like, well, you're gonna fucking do it, kind of dad.
My mom was like that, not my dad, but yeah.
I'm interested in finding out how you guys thought you could get away with saying no to anything in your house. That sounds interesting to me. That's
I was one of those kids. I fought them all the time, but I never got away with anything. I did have to do those things, but whatever.
Do you have any siblings?
Yeah, I got an older half brother and I got a younger brother.
Okay, all right.
It was all boys, so it was a lot of fist fights. A lot of fist fights.
I have 3 brothers, 2 tag teams. We just beat the shit out of each other constantly.
Nice.
Yeah,
Now
It's fantastic.
with 3, it's worse because like 2 always getting up on 1, and it just depends on what day it is.
Mhm.
Like sometimes the older and younger would team up against me. Sometimes me and my younger would team up against my older brother and lose. By the way, he was 3 years older than both of us.
Oh, yeah.
My younger brother's 16 months younger than me. My older brother's 3 years older, and in brother years, that's so many years.
Yeah, it is.
Because 3 years is like, yeah, they've like hit puberty 3 years before you. They're fucking 6 feet tall. They can just and you're like 5'2", and they're just beating the piss out of you. Like they have the strength of a man. And you're just
yeah.
You come out covered in placenta, and they're already talking and walking and everything.
Exactly.
Like, yeah.
Oh yeah.
They just.
They're already resentful you were born, especially if they're older.
And remember, the moves that they got duped with, they're now using on you. So you're like, how did they always know? And you're like,
dude, I remember when I finally got bigger than my older brother. Like I was working out a lot. I was like 24, right? I was like, I know I'm stronger than my older brother, and he pissed me off one day. So I decided today's the day. I'm finally gonna kick his ass. So I pick him up. He's on my shoulder. I was about to power bomb him. Finally tell him like I am the alpha brother.
Yeah.
He then reaches into my pants, grabs my underwear, and pulls my underwear damn near over my head, like through my asshole. And I just dropped to my knees. I just fell, and he won again. And then he slapped me real hard, and then he ran away.
That's a fair counter. That's a fair counter.
I would never even have thought to do that. Like that's the older brother knowledge. He's like, well,
pure
I'm just
evil.
Pull. It is,
It's pure evil. Yeah.
To this day, I won't fight him. I don't know what he's got up his sleeve.
That's like. I guess that answers the third question. What was the first time you like felt like an adult?
Yeah.
When you thought you were the master and you got schooled again.
Yeah.
Underwear first.
Knowing I'm still yet a Padawan, And I'll never even be a Jedi Knight.
Oh, that's like I have an older sister, so like a lot of her bullying was like more Machiavellian and subtle.
Oh yeah, older sisters are from what I hear from other people more evil.
Evil, yes.
Like,
completely
conniving almost.
Like you understand Salem a lot better when you have a sister. You're going, oh yeah, that makes sense.
There was one time we were there was like a tree in our front yard, and we were up there and like fighting with squirt guns, and like she got up right in my face and was like and squirted me in the face, so that I moved backward like instinctually, like like that, and just walked off the edge of the tree.
Oh Jesus Christ!
So I fell down, and then like my parents thought like, oh, he pushed him off, and she's like, I didn't touch him.
Oh wow, that's genius.
It's
that's way more genius than an older brother. Older brother would have just kicked me off and lied about it, but she was like, I have literal deniability.
Yeah. No? I didn't touch him.
Hey, I feel like your sister didn't say that. She looked at you and be like, did I push you off? Did I? And you're like, no. And you're like, oh, well, because I was like, why did you lose your balance? And you're like, I don't know. Like that's definitely what happened.
I would have been about 8 or 9 when that happened. So that's
definitely crying, and you were doing that because you couldn't breathe because you definitely got winded when you landed.
Well, I fell into like some bushes, so it was just like the scratches all over, and you're like, I don't know where to touch because it's all you're just like cut all over.
Yeah, man, and she made you fall into bushes to avoid that manslaughter charge. Pretty genius. Just wanted you to feel the pain of a fall, but not die. I like that.
Just know that I could have made this go a different way, Atlas. Yeah. That could have happened. Yeah.
2 inches to the right, and you'd be dead.
Like Scar and Mufasa, right? Like long live the king.
Oh yeah,
100%. Well, that's sibling rivalry though is insane like that, right? Yeah. Like it can be a crazy, like especially like I know even. Like when we started, like I started seeing my siblings again when my dad was passed, and I'm like, yeah, as soon as we were all together again, we all revert to like 16 to 18 years old, where we're all just trying to prank each other, push each other. Like we would reach down, and because we were all bigger guys, but we worked. My dad had a machine shop, Travis, so like we worked with steel.
That's what my brother does.
So we would grab the one leg closest to the next person and then just lift it up, and essentially you take like a school 4-legged chair and just grab that and just pull. You just have to move it a little bit, but it gets you off balance enough that you will fall. So we would do that. We'd just be standing. We're standing in a hospital, sitting down, talking with people, and somebody reaches down there. Oh, I just got to tie my shoes, and then all of a sudden you see someone go, ah! And they fall down, and you're going, yeah, this just always works because brothers are dicks.
Oh, for sure. During the pandemic, I went and I worked for my older brother. He's been a machinist at the same place since he was like 16.
Wow.
And he's 30, fucking what, 5 now? 36? 36, I think. And I worked for him for about a year and a half before I finally came back to LA. Yeah. And one of the things, these bundles of steel come with these industrial strength rubber bands.
Yes.
And at any given moment, you have to always be prepared for one of those to fly at your face or balls at any given time. I'd be in the middle of like picking up something super heavy and just get a fucking rubber band to the balls. And I was like, we are in our 30s. When will this end?
The key is to get extra loose like coveralls so they hang a little bit so they can't get you in the balls. Because I got that once. I was wearing shorts from behind, hit me right, taint and balls. Just bam! Because I was on top of the fucking truck. And it's just pow! Like a laser. Yeah, no, I feel your pain on that one because those. Ooh.
I'm glad you know. Yeah. Not a lot of people know, but when you know, you know.
I also worked at a bank. I got one right in the face because they had the ones that were like it's like an inch and a half wide for like legal documents, and you're like, oh, that leaves a mark for a couple days.
Could you imagine?
Yeah, the rich people. What are you gonna do? Like, I almost got your eye. You're like, thanks, you rich cocksucker. Thanks. Yeah. You're so funny, sir. Bastards.
You guys ever seriously injure yourself trying to impress somebody?
Oh yeah.
I grew up in the 80s, so yeah. Like,
yeah. When I was a kid, for sure, yeah.
Just part of being a boy, right?
Yeah. I broke my nose trying to impress a girl one time a long time ago on one of those things like you stand up on and you kick and it makes you spin around real fast.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
Ran right off of it, turned around, fucking like full on like Aurelian rolled like in like face first to the pole.
Damn.
That's rough, dude.
What about you fucks?
I was once
Dino's probably
ride.
got a good one. Travis has a good one.
I was riding this bike that I forgot didn't have any handbrakes. You had to put your foot in the tire to stop
in the back.
It.
Yep, that's fair.
Yeah. But I see in the back is smarter. I was riding. These girls were in a car and they were yelling my name, and I was riding really fast towards them. And then an old lady just pulled out in front of me, so I shoved my foot into the front tire, which just sent me double flipping.
Oh my god!
And I landed luckily right before the old lady's car because, like, I would have fucked this old lady up. If I would have even in her car, she had her window down, I would have just flown into her window and murdered this old lady.
Yeah,
she kind of deserved it. She did pull out in front of me. But I mean, I just double flipped and hit the ground, and I popped up immediately, and then like pretended I was cool.
Yeah, I just walk it off.
Yeah, and walked home with a bent tire and a concussion. It's like, I'm good.
Listen, and the bent tire, you're like, oh yeah, I'll hammer this out. Like I got tools and stuff. So like,
I got this. I'm fine.
Yeah. I do this all the time. Yeah. Thanks, ma'am. Thanks again. This tooth was loose when I started. It's fine.
Yeah,
it's good. Yeah. I did. I remember we had portables at one school. I was in grade 7, grade 8, maybe. I think grade 8.
Portables.
Like outdoor school, like you could move it on a trailer.
They're
like extensions to the house
that are there for like 30 years. Yeah,
and they're like, oh well, we're gonna expand the school, and you're like, okay, maybe 20 years of cocksuckers.
I was in this for 2 years.
Yeah, and they all have mud connecting each one, so that just in case your shoes will get ruined. There's no salt in the winter, so have fun. So we were running from one to another, and I jumped up to impress. There were 2 girls that actually, it was grade 7 because they both suddenly had tits, and it was incredible.
Nice.
So I was running. I grabbed onto the soccer goalpost, swung up, and I was like, man, this is so awesome. And as I swung back, I realized I did not have a good enough grip and pretty much went backwards and landed face first into the dirt. So they just walked off. They're like, nice one. And I'm like, that was so cool. I was just, I had dirt all over me. It was great. That was definitely a highlight, I would say.
When I was like 6 or 7.
If this involves you pooping your pants,
no,
it's not gonna.
No. So outside the Staples Center, there are those like concrete like pillars to stop cars from like trying to drive in. Yeah. So we had just come out of like a Clippers game or some shit. I can't even remember a concert, but I was like, I bet I can jump over all of these, like one after the other. And I was doing it, and like 3 from the last one, it caught my foot, and I just wham, like face plant. I chipped a tooth and just blood everywhere.
God damn.
Yeah. So this one, that's the fake one.
Is it a new one? It's a fake one. It's a fake one.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Yeah.
I still got all my real ones somehow.
Atlas George Washington ass Novak, dude. Look at this fucking guy.
George Washington.
Actually,
it's funny because Katie wants to be George Washington and Martha Washington for Halloween, and she wants me to be Martha and her to be George. And I'm like, let's do it. That sounds awesome. Yeah.
Nice.
You gotta make it Martha, who's like twerking all night, like we're just got a massive butt and just keeps on jiggling. Like, if you're gonna do it right.
Yeah.
You know?
Okay, I have a question.
All
so
right.
Halloween is coming up. We're about
3 months out, 2 months out,
2 months out. And my girlfriend wants to do couples costumes this year.
Okay.
Yeah, so
That's a bad idea.
What is the line at which couples costumes are like cringe versus cute or like cool?
I think if the couple's costume is able to exist outside of the two standing next to each other, it's not cringe.
So if they're both a one horse, that's not funny.
Yeah.
It's just
whereas like this last year, I was Steve from Blue's Clues and she was Blue.
Mm-hmm.
Apart from each other, it's recognizable. Together, it's like, they add on to each other.
Was she a slutty Blue? That she dresses a
No. So she's a kindergarten teacher, so it was like it was her costume like for the kids, and then she was able to go to this Halloween costume.
I really wanted to see if I could find a sexy Blue picture, but I'm like, I'm not gonna Google that.
Yeah,
dude, sometimes you gotta
Rule 34.
Rule 34, dude. That's where it's at. I mean, if you wanted to find reference images of the thing that you're describing and nothing else.
Yes.
Yeah. Sometimes you gotta hit the incognito mode button and hope it doesn't wreck your algorithm.
I mean, NordVPN, shout out for sponsor.
Put myself in France before I Google whatever this is.
At least, yeah, that's fair.
Like, we also kicked around like Cosmo and Wanda, so like that's another example of
that's solid.
Yeah. Okay. What are you guys thinking of?
Shit, dude, I don't fucking know. I think she wanted to maybe do like a Scooby-Doo type vibe, or maybe like I don't know.
Hey, first year, do not put a collar on yourself. Just as a precedent.
I mean,
you want to save that one. Save that one when it's really important. Don't.
I mean,
I thought it was going to be like Fred and Daphne or something. I didn't think it was going to like.
I don't think Caleb has the shoulders to pull off a proper Velma. So, like, realistically,
I don't have the shoulders for Velma.
That's right.
I don't know. I think you could do like either Fred and Daphne or.
Are these not good enough for you, Dino? These Velma shoulders? What do I need to do? Do I need to pop it? Do I need to?
Number one, your cans are way too small. Okay, let's be honest. Okay,
yeah, we need more titty.
We need more titty and shoulder. Maybe some padding, okay?
Okay.
Yeah, shoulder pads. Bring them back.
Definitely need shoulder pads, for sure.
Okay.
And bad haircut, so.
Okay.
Definitely.
All right, I got 2 for 3 already, so get some shoulder pads and I'm there.
Yeah, but that's good advice. What Atlas gave was, as long as both are still viable costumes independently, that's reasonable. And that's advice for all time. Right? Mm-hmm. Eventually, like, if you marry a woman, she'll make you do stupid shit eventually. At least for me, I'm at the age where I'm going, no, we're not doing anything. Like, that's fine. I don't care anymore. Right?
Do you guys have any suggestions as to what I should dress up as for Halloween?
My wife's been pitching me Hercules and Meg from the Disney show.
It's
Which
dope.
is good.
Man.
That's a couple, and they're independently, you know, people.
And I'm fucking like huge, so like
I can tell
everyone
how
would
fucking
realize like,
jacked you are. so,
damn,
yeah.
like okay, that's Herc right there. That's a hero that I need. Look at him
I
go.
bet- yeah,
Like-
you could probably pull it off better than me because you can at least like maybe get one of those fake muscle suits. I'm way too fat for that shit.
I feel like you could pull it off like early in the film Hercules, where he's in the toga instead of the like tight
Teen Herc.
Yeah, Teen Herc. I feel like you could pull that off.
Yeah.
Hey, Caleb, you could probably pull off a what's the kid in the Jetsons? Leroy? No,
Elroy. Yeah,
Elroy.
Elroy and Judy. Right? Judy's the girl.
That might work. You definitely have that vibe. You can pull off that.
Elroy and Judy sound like names that were inscribed right next to fucking Moses and Noah in the fucking tablets, bro. What are you talking about?
FYI, today is George Jetson's birthday. So let's calm down.
That's
Okay?
right. At the time of recording this,
July 31st, 2022.
I think the Jetsons were right because I think how old was he in the show? What, 30 maybe? Maybe 40? Probably 40.
Yeah, but like when you line up all the math of the birthdays, you're like, oh, this definitely was from the 80s. You're like, everyone's a little too young, guys. A little too young.
That's why I said 30s at first, but I'm like, wait, he's got like a 17-year-old daughter. That doesn't make any fucking sense.
Yes,
but that's kind of the ages from the show, though, right?
Because the wife was like 16-ish.
Yeah. Apparently, teen pregnancy is still a thing in the future. That's good to know.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, this was back in the day where
as well as unwanted pregnancies. Just,
we can't get rid of them now. So
where you can buy your house for like a firm handshake and like eye contact.
I think they are correct, though. We have fled to the clouds to get away from the molten surface that the Earth will become. So
that fan theory that the Flintstones and the Jetsons take place at the same time, and you have like an Elysium thing going on.
Oh yeah, that's kind of genius.
Yeah, because they meet each other.
Astro City, it's Astro City, the Jetsons. All these things are piecing together. You're going, oh yeah, this is definitely. We're definitely going to live in the sky at some point. Then look down on the poor people who still have to rummage through things to collect it. It's great.
Caleb, so Popeye and Olive Oil, Ash and Pikachu, Woody and Jesse from Toy Story, Peggy and Captain America.
I would pay to see you in a cowboy outfit, Caleb.
I'll put a cowboy outfit on, Dino. You might have to subscribe for that kind of content.
Morticia and Gomez Adams.
That would be top tier. And let's put it this way: if your girl dresses up as Morticia, you're probably gonna have a great night.
Jack and Jill.
You gotta have some serious boobs for that.
Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy.
Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy is fire.
That's a really good one.
That's a good one.
You know what? Hey, this is how I know you're young. When you almost had Morticia and you're like, Barnacle Boy! You're like, fuck this kid. Fuck him. You don't get any advice now, you dog shit bastard.
What was the name of the villain? Was it Manta Ray?
Man Ray. Yeah.
Man Ray.
Yeah.
I would find a really tall friend to follow you guys around.
Excuse me, sir. I do believe you at random parties.
That's terrific. I've got checks with little poodles on them.
Yeah.
Deep Man Ray cut.
So, wait, earlier in the episode, you mentioned that you were houseless at one point.
Oh, yeah, 2.5 years.
What's can you tell us a little bit about that? Like, any like misadventures or?
Oh, it's as fun as it sounds. You live in a van.
Mm-hmm.
Here in Los Angeles, where it's nice and hot, and you don't have enough money to run the AC all the time. So it's like a sauna.
A sauna.
A sauna.
Pronounced sauna, but that's
sauna. It's like a sauna. You wake up. It's the first time I ever experienced, because traditionally have been living in places and not in cars. It was the first time I woke up. If you sleep too long, say you get real drunk and you kind of sleep till like 9 a.m., the sun comes up around 6 or 7, and it heats the roof of your van and the inside so much that you wake up with little pools of sweat in your eyeballs. It's kind of fascinating, actually. Yeah, it's not a good time.
Oh my god.
Damn.
Yeah, man, it fucking sucks.
That's a fucking brutal story, man.
Yeah, man, it's rough, dude. Yeah, and also, like, at any given time, like, I had a touch of PTSD from it, because this was, I've been not homeless for almost 4 years. This is a while ago, but just people are just constantly trying to break into your shit here in LA. Like when the sun goes down, and if you try to park anywhere in the city, at any moment, someone could just try to break into your shit. Like especially like they see a van, especially a cargo van, they think there might be something in it they could take. And it's usually just you in your underwear having a fist fight a homeless guy at 3 a.m. Yeah, it's pretty great. Yeah, it's not a good time. Anything else you need to know about it?
No, I just thought that.
I'll tell you.
I feel like that could have really taken off on YouTube, like a lot better than you think.
Yeah,
I hate hashtag van life now. These like rich, like upper middle class kids that are like, we're gonna try to experience what it's like to live on the road, and I'm like, fuck you. I didn't have a choice. Okay, this wasn't a thing I did for funsies. It was like, well, I don't want to have to live back in Ohio. So I'm just going to stay in this fucking van.
Listen, it's the same as there's these people that are documenting their hiking from Mexico to Canada on I think it's the
Pacific Crest Trail.
Sure, that's a thing. But the whole thing is that they have already shipped or have timed shipments for food to little areas on their walk. And I'm like, okay, so you're doing this, yeah. There, you know who else gets to do this? Yeah, nobody. You goddamn selfish moron assholes, right? And they're like, oh yeah, and we'll just go and hang out with friends, pop into a YMCA. You're like, so you're pretending to be homeless and exercise at the same time. You're not garbage. You deserve to die. It's that, they deserve to be hunted like in that movie with Jean-Claude Van Damme, just the hardest prey. Just they're the worst.
It's a small percentage of the population, but there are people out there that will go their whole lives and not have to struggle at all. And I almost feel like they're jealous because they're mentally ill of normal poor people who struggle every single day. So they're like, I want to cosplay as homeless and poor. I want to see, because I'll never experience actual hardships. So I want to go see what it's like. And
I assumed it was because they want to like be cool, right? Like it's cool to struggle.
Oh yeah.
I think it's an importance of the experience that they see. Because remember, how many people do you know who became famous or successful in some way, shape, or form? And they're like, oh, the hardest time in my life was, I didn't really have food to eat and I was homeless. And they're going, oh, so if I learn to be homeless, then I'll be successful. You're like, no.
Right.
You need to learn that you don't deserve property or a vote or any sort of unique colored clothing. You deserve to dress in beige and do data processing for the rest of your life because you're the worst.
That's it. I was going to say, but people do deserve housing and food and water and
beige, all of it. Food, beige. Water, beige.
Okay, I know beige sounds bad for food, but like pasta, rice, chicken, like these are all beige. They're pretty
rich
good.
People khakis. I can eat those.
Not fancy beige. How about that? They're not getting fancy beige. They're getting a cup of noodle and a fucking one of them suits from a state prison. Okay, the one really with the crotch binders. Okay, that's kind of just get right up in there. Okay?
Nice. Damn, I haven't had cup of noodle in forever. I kind of miss it.
Hey, Travis, listen. One good thing is that you became not homeless. At the right time. It's like the best possible time because it is a nightmare from what I heard over there. Like it's
damn. I mean it's pretty much still the same. It's still terrible. It's also like I think California gets a bad rap. Like there's a lot of fucking crazy ass homeless people stuff, but like it's also there's a lot of homeless people here because it's dope. You know what I mean? Like
also
they like travel from all around.
Don't they?
Well, you can have tacos for breakfast, fight a shark, then tacos for lunch. That's a great place to live.
Yeah.
Right?
Exactly. Well, like if I was living in that van in Ohio, which first off, I feel if you're homeless in Ohio, you've really fucked up, man. Like like that's bad. But like, it'd be way more miserable. Like the climate out here is pretty nice. Yeah, it was warm. And I woke up with bird baths in my eyeballs, but like
also a great episode title. These are
just I woke up with bird baths in my eyeballs.
Yeah.
I feel bird baths definitely gonna have people coming out to sea. That's just like if anything, like that should be a specials name. You know?
I was going to say bird baths in my eyeballs.
Yeah.
Like I would tell that story. It's like I woke up and I thought I was blind. The heat had taken my vision, but no, it was
My
a
underwater.
bird bath in my exactly.
Oh,
Jesus,
it's more annoying. Because I was working the entire time I was homeless too. Like I was working 7 days a week. I mean, that's where me and Atlas met. It's when I was at Fourth Wall NoHo, doing mics every single day, 7 hours a day. So like I was constantly working, yet still was not making enough money.
I think that's the majority of the houseless population in the LA area is that.
Yeah, exactly. People are like, why aren't they working? It's like, dude, I worked.
They do work. Yeah.
10, 12 hours a day. Like I worked as much as I could, so I didn't have to go back to my sadness van.
Being poor is expensive too. It's
It's even the food. The food is actually more expensive too because you don't realize how much you save storing food in a refrigerator. When you don't have a refrigerator, your options are like 7-Eleven taquitos and fucking more expensive shit. Because that's the only choice you got. So you end up spending more money being a broke piece of shit.
What was your favorite broke food?
Well, taquitos.
Dino, shut up.
Dude, you know what? This actually happened to me. So I ate a lot of 7-Eleven pizza because it was $5 for a fucking full pizza. Like that's when you barely have any money. There you go. But it got real sad because it was like 2 weeks in a row, and I really got to know the guy at this one 7-Eleven next to Fourth Wall NoHo, like right next to where I'd park the van. And after 2 weeks in a row of every night, I would go after the mics and order a large pizza. He goes, "No, my friend, cancer," and he literally made me stop buying 7-Eleven pizzas because he thought it was going to give me cancer.
Like he's not wrong.
He's not wrong.
He
was like, "My friend, no cancer," and I just stopped ordering 7-Eleven pizzas.
That's a good.
Did he move you over to the hot dog counter and be like, "Get hot dog for 1 week, it balance out. It's okay."
Yeah, exactly.
You got to cleanse with the hot dog and then back to the pizza. It's a wash. It goes back and forth.
Yeah. Exactly. I'll never forget that man. He got fired.
Probably because he told somebody that the pizza causes cancer.
No, you upsell the pizza. You upsell the pizza. You don't tell them it's going to cause them cancer. Guy, after 2 weeks too. Like, can you imagine if you went back for a third week and you just didn't listen to him? Be like, no,
like,
I want my goddamn pizza.
Yeah. What's funny is I buy cigarettes from that man, and he was more concerned about the pizza.
By the pizza than the actual.
Yeah, he's like, no, cigarettes fine. Pizza.
That's metal in your lungs. So.
Dude, yeah, I know.
It's like,
what does he know? Like that's.
Kai.
I broke it.
Oh, Guy, that's so good. That was the best tag ever. Holy shit. I bought cigarettes off him, but he didn't say anything.
I did. I actually, until just now, I didn't think about that. I was like, why?
Shit. Oh, please do that as a bit. Please, for the love of God.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, that's fantastic. Speaking of, well, okay, so before we go to the last question, Travis, where can everyone find you?
I'm at Clyburn Comedy on pretty much everything. I got a TikTok, like the young kids, because I'm hip, I'm lit. Fam.
Let's go.
Look at him go, dude. Fucking straight busted. Represent for the boys, dude.
Just busting, bro.
Oh.
On fleek.
Oh no!
He's a cop! He's a cop!
Yeah. Someone says on fleeker for sure. A fucking cop.
As soon as anyone who says they're on fleek, you're like, that's a narc. 100%. Yeah.
That was popular for like 4 months, like 8 years ago. Like,
fam started in Toronto. Okay, it is the worst.
Okay. Oh yeah.
Okay, and people are like, "What's up, fam?" And I'm like, absolutely not. Yeah. Oh, come on. I still have a problem. Somebody says, "Dude," I'm like, let's just relax. Just calm down, okay? What up, bro? I'm like, definitely not. Not same gene pool at all. Just keep on trucking.
You say, "Sir," nothing else, boy.
So, lately when I do comedy, I've been going out in a suit, and everyone is like, "Hey, sir," and I'm like, "Oh, this is backfired immediately." This is
Make it look fancier than you really are.
Well, I look down on a lot of people, Travis. I'm not only Canadian and have free healthcare, but also Greek. So I definitely just constantly looking down at people.
Yeah.
And he's also huge, so like literally looks down on.
He's a super tall man.
I'm 6'2" and 400 pounds, but that's why I go by Dino the Genetic Marvel, because I'm a Big Mac away from 400 pounds, but I have no tits.
Nice.
And that's, I'm no scientist, but it's magic. So
yeah, I'm 6 foot 330. So you are a beefier boy than me.
Oh, I was that size in high school. That's a nice size. That's you can still do jumping
still
jacks.
Pretty mobile. Yeah, I lift and stuff, so I still look scary.
Travis, that's so
but
weird.
Also jiggly.
Because I'm like 6 foot and some change and 230.
Oh wow, I weigh about 100 pounds. Hell yeah. And hopefully it's not all fat.
Caleb is like 110 pounds soaking wet.
How big are you, buddy?
What can I say? I'm 5'10", 170.
5'10's a good height though for 170.
Yeah, dude. I'm just a little fucking. I'm just a little oompa loompa over here.
You're actually an average sized man, and we're all
above average. He's above average.
Very large.
Yeah. That's the funny thing is, I was having this conversation with someone else who's also over 6 foot, and I'm like, listen, when I meet a guy who's under 5'6", I'm like, you're a girl. You're a girl or a child. I'm like, no, that's fine.
Also, really, I do feel like I have a friend who's 6'5", and he calls me short all the time, and I'm like, no, sir, you are very big. You very big.
Yeah.
Me also big, but you bigger. You're very big.
Cancer.
Yeah. Cancer, my friend, cancer.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Anyways.
All right. Find us at Generation Dan on Twitter, Instagram. Find Dino at Dino the Genetic Marvel. Yes. He challenges you to Google him. Yeah. Me at Atlas Novak. Caleb C. McDuff. All right, let's do it. Last question. What is your most memorable set as a comedian? Good, bad, weird, otherwise?
I'll go bad for sure. I've talked about this many times. I don't know if I've ever talked about it on a podcast before, so this might be a Generation Dan exclusive here. But I once did a show that was supposed to be a charity event for what I thought was a veterans hall. It was a VFW. What I didn't know is when I got to this festival, this outdoor festival at noon, by the way, it was a Minions biker club gang meeting. And the Minions are a subsidiary of the Hells Angels, and they're also a white supremacist organization.
Yeah, they're like a bad banana.
Yeah. By the way, they've kept the name Minions as if it isn't associated with. The name did not age well. But yeah, they're terrifying individuals. They're
worse.
White supremacist organization.
Yeah, worse than the Hells Angels. Like,
they're worse because at least the Hells Angels were like, yeah, we'll let a few people who aren't white in, but like, no. The Minions were like, these Hells Angels are too woke for us, man. That's how. This is a long time ago. I believe this was 2012. I did this, and so we get there at 11:30. We notice that this is not for veterans. The guy who booked the show was a notorious crazy person. Like he was involved at like a biker bar, but it wasn't a biker gang bar. You know what I mean? Like, so I guess he fucked something up and didn't understand like what the booking was. So we all get there and there's these visible criminals. Like guys, the look for all the guys was shirtless leather vest. And then they had their full body tattoos, like the knuckle tattoos and stuff. They're all very scary individuals. It was not a good time. The women were oddly scarier than the dudes. But we get up there. I was supposed to headline this for some reason. For some reason, I'm the type that should fucking get up there and go, well, hey, bikers.
You're the master race. You get to headline.
Your eyes are blue. Get up there, boy. But the stage... So I'm sure a lot of people have done VFW halls. Like they have stages in them for bands to play in, but they wanted this to be outside. So they had pulled up a flatbed trailer, and just parked it there, lined the outside with hay bales, and we were the first act, by the way. So there was no band than us. It was comedy first, and then bands would go on after us. So we were the kick-starting the festival. And so it was in the middle of a fucking field, flatbed trailer, and just a gaggle of still hungover minions watching us do stand-up. There's 4 of us. Everyone got up and ate an appropriate amount of dicks. Like, no one did well. It was really bad. I was supposed to do 25. I did maybe 10. It was a rough 10, bro.
But that's
speed 10 too. Like, I think I did my whole act in 10 minutes. Like, it was at the time anyway. And so I go to get off stage, and I noticed that the biggest one, who had to be about 6'8", had just decided he hated me more than anyone else. And as I walked off stage, he looked at me and he went, "Faggot!" Right in my straight eye contact, and I was like, "Oh yeah, yes sir, whatever you need me to be." I was like, "Yes sir, yeah, yes sir, yes sir," and I just kind of walked away. So we're trying to get out of there. We're just like, let's fucking get paid for this. It didn't. Oh, by the way, I only paid like $20 each. So our lives were on the line for like $20 each. Of course. Yeah. It was ridiculous. So we're scrambling, like getting our stuff together. We're like, we gotta get the fuck out of here. And then the worst part of this story is the bass player for the band that's going to go up after us goes on stage and he starts tuning the instruments. And as he's tuning the instruments, he starts telling joke book street jokes into the microphone and murdering. I mean, murdering. We didn't get a laugh for an hour.
Yeah.
And this fucking dude is up there slaying with like, "Why the chicken crossed the road to get away from black people?" Like, just the most horrible, fucked up jokes you can think of from off the internet.
God.
Hey,
murdered.
There's nothing worse. There's nothing worse.
That was so bad, man.
Just like fucking just scrolling through brain cells and just fucking just quoting off random like top posts.
The most impressive part was like he told maybe 30 minutes of joke book jokes as he was tuning things up. Or maybe 20. But still.
Wow.
I don't even remember. I can't remember that many fucking street jokes. Like that's kind of impressive.
Yeah. Like, but that also too, that's all he's got. Right?
Yeah,
like,
true.
All like the difference, and this is I have the same complaint when we're watching a movie and somebody makes a pun. My wife will laugh, and I'm like, I hate you with every fiber of my being
for laughing at this.
Because that's not humor. Okay,
right?
It's just like it's not. It's better watching a fat person fall down than puns, hands down.
What's your guys' favorite like street joke? Before we go,
guy walks into a bar. Ouch.
Simple,
nice. That's pretty good.
Effective.
Yeah.
Trying to think of a good. Okay. Knock knock.
Who's there?
Eat mop.
Eat mop. Who?
Ah!
Yeah, that's my favorite bar. None.
Take it right out of your pants in front of Del Taco, dude.
Well, you gotta bite it like it's a grenade and just like bam right against the glass.
Stream it on Twitter too, dude. You're fucked.
What's yours, Atlas?
Okay. Guy walks into a bar and he sits down, looks in his shirt pocket, and then orders a beer. He drinks it, looks in his shirt pocket again, orders another beer. And he keeps doing this before every beer that he orders. After about like 10, the bartender's like, "Dude, why do you keep looking in your shirt pocket before you order drinks?" And he goes, "There's a picture of my wife in here. When she looks good enough, I'll go home."
Yeah. That's pretty good. I like that.
All right. I think I got one. I got to go. Yeah. Okay. Why did Sally fall off the swing set?
Why?
Sally's got no arms. Oh, hey, here's another one. Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Who's there?
Not Sally.
Nah.
All right. Well, we hope you enjoyed this episode of Generation Dan. What's your favorite street joke? Put it in the comments below if you're on YouTube, or you can tweet at us or that kind of thing. We'll see you next time.
Yeah.
Bye, everyone.
Like, comment, subscribe, tell your friends.
Bye.
See you in hell. Bye.
Bye, guys.